We earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy. In this program you will know who is a leader of the 21st century, why do national economies benefit from active young people, and why do states need a youth policy? They are ambitious, talented, motivated and ready for new achievements and discoveries. Youth is the eternal engine of economy and the basis for future. Nobody but young people can turn their native countries into new world leaders. And the same young people can level them to the ground. Therefore, nowadays, all over the world, including Kazakhstan, everything is being done to form a worthy generation. In particular, education is becoming more available. Young people are engaged in economic and political processes, and employers far often give preference to younger job seekers.
Лидер, в моем понимании, это человек.
My understanding is that leaders are people capable of self-control, who can control their emotions, who are seeking for something new and with whom we want to change ourselves. They not only manage, but they also make people change. I think that the new generation consists of many guys who can lead the way, especially given that they can process received information in a very short time. Leaders are not born, they are taught. And in order to increase the number of economically active people, Enactus program has been introduced. It is known as a real school of leadership and youth entrepreneurship. The program is being practiced all over the world for more than 40 years and in Kazakhstan for more than 20 years. Its participants are students from almost 50 universities. Enactus is a major international non-profit organization which unites students and business leaders. In total, more than 70,000 students and more than 1,700 universities from 36 countries took part in the program in 2017. The project is sponsored by about 550 international corporations. Rise up, morning exercises, breakfast and form teams. At the first glance, this is a common summer camp which does not differ from others. However, there are students instead of school children, businessmen instead of counselors, and trainings and masterclasses instead of competitions and nap time. This year, the camp was set up in one of the most picturesque areas of Pavlodar region. More than 120 Enactus students from 11 regions of Kazakhstan as well as from Kyrgyzstan have gathered in the camp.
Летний лагерь Enactus – это такая программа интенсивного обучения. The
Enactus Summer Camp is an intensive training program followed in sequence after our national cup competitions, when guys have a chance to correct their mistakes. During the operational period of the summer camp, we invite our business partners who were in jury. Therefore, at this time, guys have a chance to think over new strategies for the next academic year and suggest some new business projects.
И обдумать, собственно говоря, идеи новых бизнес-проектов.
Trainings are conducted by acting businessmen who can also be jury members, investors and project mentors. Moreover, as business coaches say, they not only share knowledge with students, but learn new things from the younger generation. On the one hand, we share our experience, and on the other hand, we learn a lot of information from them because it is very useful for us to know how the new generation lives and what trends we shall have in the future. Thanks to Enactus, I discovered a new profession. Earlier, I was just a businessman. Now I'm an associate professor of Alma University. For the first time, I read a lecture before students during Enactus classes. After that, I decided to perfect myself in teaching. Enactus graduates also make their contribution to students' education. And it is worth mentioning that not all of them are citizens of Kazakhstan. For example, Nuriza Bakhtibekova is a graduate of Enactus Kyrgyzstan.
Я хочу делиться своей историей, я хочу делиться со студентами о том, что Enactus учит мыслить нестандартно, что дает возможность.
I want to tell students my story. I would like to tell them that Enactus teaches outside-the-box thinking. This allows to develop your leadership and personal qualities both in your native country and abroad. Earlier, I could not even think that I would change my qualification and become a constructor. About 10 years ago, I fancied myself an attorney. I was anxious to put on a court dress. However, when I saw the other side of this profession, I understood that being happy did not mean to imprison people. On the contrary, I think that we should help people and share with them our knowledge.
Обвинителем, да, в суде, а то, что можно людям помогать и нужно им помогать, и при этом делиться своими знаниями.
Becoming a member of the large Enactus family and spending holidays in the camp is available for anyone. For that, it is quite necessary to be a student of an economic or business university. For instance, Serik Adlet, the team captain of Kokshetau Technical Institute of the Emergency Committee under the Ministry of Internal Affairs of Kazakhstan, joined Enactus only this year. Nonetheless, he has already acquired new knowledge, found new friends and inspirers. Then he decided to become a businessman at all accounts. After graduation of the institute, we are appointed to a grade of civil defense lieutenants. We shall also be fire safety bachelors. We shall be working for the benefit of the native land. When we have additional time, we'd prefer to dedicate it to Enactus, because it is very useful not only for us, but also for people of Kazakhstan. We shall be developing business in Kazakhstan and contribute to the development of our country. Establishers of the business camp are confident that this informal method of teaching is necessary for beginning entrepreneurs. Indeed, trainings or masterclasses in the form of intellectual games in the open air and recreation allow students to take a new look at their strategies and even develop new projects.
Каждый раз после летнего лагеря у студентов очевиден.
Improving of students' work and projects' quality is evident after each summer camp season. They clearly understand their objectives, tasks, missions and strategies. Teams succeed in all these parameters.
С такой вот, с большим успехом.
Ability to work in teams is a distinctive feature of any leader, considering opinion of the personnel, allocating duties in a proper manner, and most importantly, training leaders are the key objectives of a successful person.
Лидеры появляются тогда, когда они могут понимать.
Leaders can understand and make use of skills used by his teammates. Leaders can understand how they can use the potential of team as well as of each individual. While analyzing economic situation or a functioning business, he should be able to find opportunities which could be used in the project. Leadership skills are first of all implementation of all plans in time and the process of planning itself.
Те возможности, которые будут использованы в данном проекте.
Being a leader means being a many-sided man with skills in delivery of speech, financial literacy, accounting, psychology, marketing, and even being competent in law. Nowadays, there is a great many of opportunities to broaden the outlook. Various forums and conferences are regularly held throughout the country. Business schools are opened in all parts of Kazakhstan. Their students are offered masterclasses and many others. Still, it is also advisable to read business literature.
Столько много книг на различные деловые.
There are many books on various business topics. This is so-called self-development and personal growth. The most important thing is that you do it in practice. There were a lot of examples. Thus, one guy wanted to leave Kazakhstan, but after reading useful books, he decided to serve his country and work here. It is necessary to use it step by step. Underline with a pencil all necessary things and then use them in practice.
Родине, да, работа здесь. То есть это влияет. Главное, по чуть-чуть начинать применять это.
People with leadership qualities who can both manage a team and open their own enterprises are income generating for any state. In fact, they facilitate the development of small and medium businesses which offer in Kazakhstan up to 80% of workplaces and make a significant contribution into the country's GDP. And students who graduated from Enactus school become successful entrepreneurs even during the learning process.
Ежегодно наши ребята реализуют более 80-90 проектов. Это же не просто.
Annually, our guys implement about 80 to 90 projects. These are not only ideas which they defend, these are concrete results. In addition, the target of their projects is people who need assistance. This year's winner, the team from the Kazakh Juridical University, was working with those people in trouble. In fact, nobody helps such people or the assistance they got was ineffective. In the meantime, these guys were capable to raise these people from the bottom and return them to a normal life. I appreciate it very much.
поднять, так сказать, несколько человек вот с этого дна, вернуть их к нормальной жизни. И, на мой взгляд, это очень-очень-очень ценно.
Educating leaders is not sufficient. It is also necessary to realize their potential. In Kazakhstan, everything is done for this purpose. Such state programs as Employment Roadmap 2020, Business Roadmap 2020, with the Diploma to the Village, Jasil Yel and many others are focused on the supporting of youth. The National Youth Policy towards 2020 implies reducing youth unemployment to 3.7%. In the meantime, the proportion of young entrepreneurs is expected to reach 30%. Currently, young entrepreneurs are not left alone with their ideas. In Kazakhstan, there are support funds which offer free consultations for beginning businessmen and render them all-round assistance. Experts note that nowadays, along with earning money, entrepreneurs also want to benefit the society and make people's lives more comfortable.
Вообще у нас прекрасные возможности, которые предоставляются со стороны государства для развития предпринимательства, молодежного предпринимательства.
In general, we have nice opportunities for the development of youth entrepreneurship offered to us by the state. It is very important to make our young people understand that state funds such as DAMU offer us some finished instruments and opportunities. Many young people even do not suspect that they have such opportunities, but they are available not in every country. Therefore, Enactus gives us a chance to form the whole generation of young people focused on business and entrepreneurship. Of course, this project gives us an opportunity to grow up self-confident leaders.
Конечно, это проект, который дает возможность развивать их как лидеров, уверенных в себе, уверенных в своем будущем.
Successful development of the country and future of youth also depend on the quality of education, foreign scientists say. Even a new term, knowledge economy, has been invented in the world. It implies that a state economy should not be based on production, but on human knowledge, which gives rise to new technologies. According to analysts, only last year the investment portfolio in the education sector of Kazakhstan exceeded 220 billion tenge. Notably, that the investment of business made up almost 40% of this amount. Businessmen explain their participation in educative processes in an easy way.
Почему мы это делаем? Потому что все-таки мы видим, опять-таки, необходимость вносить свою лепту в обеспечение.
We do that because we see the necessity to contribute to our country's future. We want our country to be governed by people who can change things for the better and who are capable of governing a country.
Будут заботиться, наверное, о том, чтобы менять все к лучшему. Но ребята, которые способны управлять.
In many countries, issues of youth entrepreneurship are being solved by special committees. Thus, in Europe, there are several major organizations which support beginning businessmen. One of them is the European Youth Forum, a leading organization dealing with problems of youth policy. Funds like this also exist in the US. In addition, several dozens of business supporting programs have been developed in the country. As a result, about 6 million young people are working for themselves.
Если, например, по примеру евразийского сообщества или, скажем, европейского, у нас
Like in the Eurasian or European societies, individual entrepreneurs in our country set up mainly small projects. And in American projects, teams manage large projects which influence a great many of people. Therefore, such partners as Walmart, KPMG and Henkel need people capable of building teams and succeed.
Менеджмента способны собирать большие группы людей в команды и достигать успеха.
In the age of 15, American young Pokarasta decided to set up a business. His business plan was quite unusual. He wanted to sell truffles. These mushrooms are known as a very expensive food, which is mainly purchased by elite restaurants. 1 kilogram of this food costs about $12,000. However, to sell such mushrooms in the US, a lot of special permissions from the state authorities are required. In fact, first of all, it is necessary to import this product, and its shelf life is no more than 7 days. As a consequence, Jan stopped importing truffles from abroad and instead of that decided to grow them himself. He spent about 3 years in learning of this technology. In the age of 18, Jan opened the first in the US nursery of truffles.